Born Behind Bars by Padma Venkatraman. Summary. A boy born in jail is released into a world he doesn't know and must navigate the dangers of the streets with the help of a new friend. Chapter 1. Beyond a Patch of Sky. Beyond the bars, framed by the high square window, slides a small patch of sky. For months, it's been as gray as the faded paint flaking off the walls, but today it's blue and gold, bright as a happy song. My thoughts, always eager to escape, shoot out and try to picture the whole sky, even the whole huge world. But my imagination has many missing pieces, like the jigsaw puzzle in the schoolroom. All I've learned here in 9 years from my mother and my teachers is not enough to fill the gaps. Still, it doesn't stop me from imagining we're free, Amma and me, together, exploring the wide open world that lives beyond the bars.
Fast Pitch by Nick Stone. 12-year-old Shanice Lightning Lockwood, a softball captain aiming to lead her team to a championship while also uncovering a decades-old family mystery. Chapter 1. Batter Up. We have to win this game. Like, gotta win. No other option. I've been playing base-related ball, first tee, now soft, since the minute I could hold up a bat. Just like my daddy, and his daddy before him, and his daddy before him. It's in my blood. And I learned the meaning of love-hate relationship in a game situation like this one. It's the bottom of the sixth, and we're up by 3, but the opposing team is at bat. Bases are loaded, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Anytime I say something is stressful, my mama rolls her eyes and says, "You're 12, Shanice. You have no idea what that word means." But this is stressful.
Hide and Seeker by Daka Herman. Justin, whose friend Z returns after disappearing for a year, is acting strange and speaking in riddles. When Justin and his friends play hide and seek, they are trapped in a nightmare world by a sinister entity called the Seeker, forcing them to confront their deepest fears. Chapter 1. Z never should have come back. Not like this. Limp blue balloons and crinkled streamers are tangled around the mailbox at the end of Z's driveway. I adjust my sweaty baseball cap and sigh. Not even the decorations are excited about his welcome home party. A fat gray cloud settles directly above the house. Shadows play across the tattered roof shingles, and trails of dirt, like black tears, streak the windows. I shiver as beads of sweat roll down the sides of my hot face. "Justin!" a voice screeches.
History Smashers, Titanic by Kate Messner. Myths, lies, secrets. Uncover the hidden truth behind the sinking of the Titanic. The fun mix of sidebars, illustrations, photos, and graphic panels make this the perfect for fans of I Survived and Nathan Hale's Hazardous Tales graphic novels. Intro. You've probably heard of the Titanic, the great unsinkable ship that crashed into an iceberg and sank in the icy North Atlantic, killing more than 1,500 people. Maybe you've read about brave heroes who gave their lives in the service of others on that frigid night, or cowardly villains who only cared about saving themselves. Perhaps you've heard heartbreaking details, how there weren't enough lifeboats and how third-class passengers were locked away from the boat deck where they might have been saved. The tale of the Titanic is legendary, but only parts of that tragic tale are true.
Masterminds by Gordon Corman. A middle grade thriller about 4 kids, Eli, Tori, Malik, and Amber, living in Serenity, New Mexico, a seemingly perfect town with no crime. However, the kids then discover a dark secret that connects them to some of the greatest criminal masterminds of all time. Chapter 1. Eli Frieden. It's a 1 in a million shot, and we nail it. Just not in the way that we planned. I lie against the cool stone of the pool deck and peer into the filter opening. I can make out the tip of the boomerang, but I can't quite jam my hand in deep enough to get a grip on it. It's stuck. What are the odds? Randy groans. You could throw that thing 50,000 times and never get anywhere near the filter. But one little challenge and bullseye. Randy's famous around Serenity for his challenges, which usually involve catching something uncatchable while riding a bicycle, jumping on a pogo stick, swinging on a rope, or rolling inside a truck tire. As his best friend, I'm usually the guinea pig for Randy's cockamamie ideas.
The Mona Lisa Vanishes by Nicholas Day. A narrative nonfiction book that explores the 1911 theft of the Mona Lisa from the Louvre. It reveals how this crime transformed a relatively unknown painting into the world's most famous artwork. Written as a thriller, this book examines the crime, the criminal, the artist, the media, and the nature of fame. The creation of the Mona Lisa. Imagine a palazzo, a magnificent Renaissance building. It's Florence, 1503. There are a lot of palazzos around. Choose a good one. Now, imagine a man, handsome, charming, gentle. Make him a painter. Imagine a woman, intriguing, unknown, beautiful. Make her a model. Do you see them? Neither of them should be there. The man shouldn't be a painter at all. Born into a long line of notaries, an early version of a lawyer, the man should have gone into the family business. Being a notary may have been the most boring profession in Renaissance Italy, but it was steady. Instead, he designed flying machines. He dissected dead bodies. He inflated pig bladders and launched them around the room. He was an extraordinary, ingenious, wondrously weird man. He was Leonardo da Vinci. He painted a little too.
Oddmire by William Ritter. When a goblin named Cool mistakenly leaves both a human baby and a changeling, he cannot tell them apart, leaving the brothers to discover which one is magical to save fading magic. Twins Cole and Tin, raised as humans, journey into the dangerous wild wood to figure out who is the human and who is the changeling. Prologue. A very long time ago, humans and fairies and elves and dolphins and all of the other intelligent beings of the world got sick of one another, which was understandable, as intelligent beings were all pretty much rubbish in those days. After much arguing, they decided to split up the world and build a sort of magical wall between the two halves. On the human side of the barrier, life would be governed by logic and reason and the laws of nature. It would be an honest world of soil and struggle. The other side would be ruled by forces more ancient than any earthly science, a world of magic and madness and raw potential. Humans called their side the earth, and magical beings called their side the Anwin.
Terror at Bottle Creek by Watt Key. A survival thriller about 13-year-old Court, who must protect two neighbor girls when a Category 3 hurricane hits the Alabama Gulf Coast. Trapped by rising floodwaters and violent wildlife, including a large feral hog, snakes, and a bear, Court uses his woodman skills to navigate a terrifying night, forcing him to take responsibility and mature to survive. Chapter 1. Dad said it was too early to be worried about the hurricane. So far, all the storms predicted to hit us that season had veered east into Florida. Besides, we'd been through plenty of them before. It was just part of life on the Alabama coast. I wasn't so sure. The storm I saw on our television was big, and it was taking a different approach than the others. And with a name like Igor, it sounded cruel and deadly. I looked out the window of our houseboat. I'd have to think about the hurricane later. At the time, I needed to worry about Dad's two clients waiting outside in their truck. He was supposed to have been back an hour ago to take them on an alligator hunt. They'd come all the way from Mississippi, and they were getting anxious. I keyed the handheld radio and tried him again. "Dad?" He didn't answer, but I didn't expect him to. I knew he was just up the road at Mom's rental house, and he didn't want me to know. Ever since she'd walked out on us 6 months before, he'd been going over there and trying to convince her to come back. I knew she didn't want to see him. Sometimes, I think he just parked in her driveway and stared at the windows.
Treasure Hunters by James Patterson and Chris Grabenstein. Follow the kid siblings, Tommy, Storm, and twins Bick and Beck, who become orphaned adventurers when their treasure hunting parents disappear at sea. They hunt for the world's greatest treasures while avoiding pirates and discovering clues about their parents' fate, with narration from Bick and illustrations by Beck. Chapter 1. Let me tell you about the last time I saw my dad. We were up on deck, rigging our ship to ride out what looked like a perfect storm. Well, it was perfect if you were the storm. Not so much if you were the people being tossed around the deck like wet gym socks in a washing machine. We had just finished taking down and tying off the sails so we could run on bare poles. "Lash off the wheel," my dad barked to my big brother, Tailspin Tommy. "Steer her leeward and lock it down."
Words on Fire by Jennifer A. Nielsen. After her parents are arrested by Cossacks for smuggling books in the late 1800s, 12-year-old Audra escapes and joins an underground, dangerous effort to distribute forbidden Lithuanian literature, learning that words possess the power to fuel freedom. Chapter 1. My name is Audra. In my language, Lithuanian, it means storm. But my language had become illegal. If the soldiers we passed on the roads heard us speaking it, we could be whipped on the spot or arrested. Or, in some cases, we might disappear. That happens sometimes. So, I avoided saying my name in public, but I often wondered, if my language was forbidden, then my name was forbidden, which meant I had no name. Which left me perfectly free to do everything I could to defy the Russian occupiers. I redoubled my grip on the sacks slung over my shoulder, braced myself against the wind coming at me, and continued down the path. I'd come this far. No matter what was ahead, I could not stop now. I would not stop now. Too many lives depended on me, starting with those of my parents.